You guys ever seen that Tom Platz meme where he's just like, oh yeah, it's like that. Look, I've been there before. I've had the weak and stiff hips, leg strength was not there, bad back pain 24/7, and I hated every second of it. Chances are, if you're watching this video, that's probably where you're at right now. So today, what we're going to do is, we're in the basement lift number 2. For our second basement lift, we are going to be focusing on a jacked mobility leg day today. Build some tree trunks while also developing some buttery smooth hips, pain-free and bulletproofing our lower body, all right? Hopefully today, we'll keep this under an hour, right? Whenever I go into the gym, I like to make it short, sweet, and effective, right? Get in, do the work, and get out. We're gonna go through a quick warm-up, and then we're gonna go into some different exercises. All of these exercises are going to be supersetted with something else to maximize our time efficiency while we're in the gym today. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. All right, to start off our workout, we are going to start with the best single warm-up exercise that you can do. I don't care if it's an upper body day, lower body day, conditioning, sprint, I don't care what it is. It's going to be the world's greatest stretch. And so what you're gonna do is, you're gonna get here, right, push up position, bring out one leg, and what you're gonna do is, you're gonna take your inside hand, and you're just gonna point it up to the sky, while keeping your back leg straight, right? Try to keep it as straight as possible, and then try to touch your elbow to the ground. As you can see, I cannot. We're still working on it. But that is going to be the goal, and we're gonna do 6 of these on each side. You're gonna switch legs. You could even go into child's pose if you want. Bring out your arms. It's not sus, bro. It's a great stretch. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about flaming me for that. All right, we're gonna go other leg. And this is great, guys. Even if you can find, whenever you go into work or wherever you are and you're sitting down, your desk job, finding 10 minutes out of your day, maybe during your lunch break. I know it's weird to do this, but if you can find, whether you have a gym nearby or just wherever, right? Who cares what other people think? And just bang these out, I promise you, during your second half of the day, your hips and your low back will feel a lot better. So, here's what we're gonna do. All right, feeling good. All right, so for this second exercise, in our warm up, we're just gonna do a 90-90 hip switch with an extension, okay? This is gonna really warm up our hips, and it's gonna make us move better during our squat patterns and during our lunges. So what we're gonna do is, you can even grab, if you have a medicine ball, you can even use that. But I'm just gonna go no medicine ball, just straight, what do you call it? No weight, body weight, and we're just gonna hip switch and then come up. We're gonna do 5 on each side. Whew. Already feeling pretty good. Hips are feeling loose. Next up, this is gonna be a core workout, okay? We're gonna activate our core here. You might think, why, Sam, are we activating our core? Because your core, believe it or not, is pretty much used in every single exercise that you're going to do. Every good warm-up should involve some sort of core work. So what we're gonna do is, we are going to do a single arm push-up hold. So what that looks like, we're just gonna go here, push-up position, and then don't let your back arch around, and then hold it there for 20 seconds. Whew. You can see how I'm shaking there. Those cases of shakes, that's good. That's a good thing. That means you need to work on that, and that you're using different muscle groups together in conjunction with each other that they're not used to be working together with, right? Kind of like that fascia type training that you'll see sometimes online. There is a debate on whether you can directly train your fascia or not. But once you activate that shake, you'll really start to feel different muscles being activated that you're not used to. For instance, you'll feel your hip flexors, your low abs, right? Shoulders, all those get connected with these single arm push-up holds. All right, so for now, we're gonna move on to the second one. All right, 20 seconds each side. We're just gonna do one more round of that, and then I'll see you for our first exercise. All right, so for our first exercise on what we're going to do for our Jack's Mobility Leg Day, Zercher Squats. All right, we're gonna start off with some Zercher Squats. This is gonna help you get into a deep range of motion with your hips, and it's pretty much a full body lift, okay? Is this going to be optimal for hypertrophy? No. Are you still going to be working out your legs? Yes. Are you still going to really work your core? Yes. And these are all things. So a little bit of background on me. I have stress fractures on my L4, L5. So I can't load up the bar like I used to and do heavy squats yet, right? I'm still working up. Obviously, I'm still going to try and work up to that. But until I can, I'm not gonna focus on what I can't do, okay? You have to focus on what you can do, okay? Because if you keep focusing on what you can't do, right? I don't know if you've heard Conor McGregor, that quote by him. He put it very nicely. If you keep on focusing on what you can't do, it's going to affect your mental and you're just gonna bring yourself down. You're gonna feel depressed, but if you focus on what you can do, then pretty soon you can start doing more and more and more and more and more until you can do whatever it is that you want to do eventually, right? You can do anything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work around that by not directly loading it onto our back, but we're still going to work on our core, our back muscles, legs, all that with the Zercher squat, okay? Some tips here, right? Just put it in the crook of your elbows and forearms. What I like to do for my squats too, whether it's a back squat, front squat, Zercher squat, I see a lot of people, they'll continue to play with their legs, trying to get the perfect alignment. What you can do to help combat this is to just dumb it down and make it super simple. So what you're gonna do is you're going to unrack it, take one step, two step, and there you go, right? Don't overcomplicate it, right? Get it up, one, two, wherever your feet lie, that's where you are. And as we're going down, up, if it really feels bad, maybe make a little adjustment. But other than that, you don't want to keep playing with your alignment because you're just going to overthink and overcomplicate it. Additionally, having that 3 points of contact, right? Big toe, I think it's the 4th or 5th metatarsal, and then your heel. That tripod grip the ground hard as you're going down, and make sure that we're activating our glutes. So I'm going to do a quick warm up here. That was a very long-winded preparation for our first movement, but yeah, I'm just gonna put 245s on, warm up super quick, and then we'll get into it. Gonna add a 25 maybe, and a 5. Another tip here, another thing that I see a lot of guys do. They'll just load up 45 or 45 or 25, 245s and call it a day. You need to be using these little weights here, like your 2.5s and your 5s, because that might be the difference between you getting that extra push or you just reaching that perfect amount of failure to really grow and to really make progress. Even if it's just a 2.5, that's still progressive overload and that's still progress, right? Don't discount those little things like that. So what we're gonna do is we are going to, we're gonna put a 25 on there, 25 and a 5. And we're gonna go into our first working set. We're gonna do 3 by 8 to 10-ish. Get loose, loose, boom, boom, bow, bow. I know functional strength is kind of a myth, but there is something to be said about a heavy Zercher squat. That's not even heavy. Like, that's just literally 45, 25, and a 5. I know dudes that are doing that like 315, but don't ever discount your progress, right? Still working back up to it. Still working on getting stronger each day. Who cares? Run your own race. Just run your own race. Sometimes you need to put those blinders on. And that can be another reason why you always feel terrible all the time. Or you feel distraught, because you keep looking to the left and to the right. It's like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, what's he doing? What's she doing? Just focus on your own race. Run your own race, right? Pray to God, talk to God, read your Bible, get in your word, and you'll have a purpose, right? You'll have something that you'll feel really deeply and feel very convicted on. And that right there, run your race with that. Don't expect other people to understand, right? Throughout this whole process, with me starting this channel, my social media and Instagram, a lot of people have made fun of me, have said it was stupid, this and that. That's okay. And they're like, why are you doing this? It's okay that they don't understand, right? They don't understand why I'm waking up at 4:30, doing push-ups, cold shower, right? They don't understand that because they don't have conviction about that, right? Run your own race and just focus on being the best version of yourself, excuse me. So, with that being said, second set, I typically like to do, anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes between sets, depending on how I feel. You should just really wait till your heart rate comes down. But I don't have a heart rate monitor. I don't have those Fitbits or Apple Watches, so we're just gonna go with it. All right, second set, let's go. Feeling good. That one felt good. It'll usually, what happens is, you'll feel better as these go on. First one might be like a little iffy with the hips, but as you keep going, it'll feel better. These are a great exercise to do. I like these front squats. Really works on developing that core strength. And if you're like me, you can't load up super heavy because of your back, these are a great alternative, all right? Like I said, going back to focus on what you can do. Don't focus on what you can't. And that's why you'll see, right? That's how it usually starts. I see this all the time in my office when I go into work and I'm talking to these, C-suite executives, right? I'm talking with them, even my boss, and it always starts out because they know that I played football, hurt my back, and then they go into their own story, right? Of how that happened to them. They stop working out, and then one thing just kind of leads to the other. And then before you know it, you have a beer belly and you can't even see your belt buckle whenever you wake up or whenever you get dressed, right? Then you have low energy, low testosterone, all these different symptoms, and it can all be traced back to that first dip and that first slope going down. And that's why, even if you're hurt, even if you're going through something, max out what you can do. Don't worry about optimizing, worry about maximizing, okay? You see a lot of that online. of how to optimize. But no one talks about just doing the work, of just maximizing how much you can do. So that's my little rant about that. Let's get into our third and last set here of Zercher squats. So I completely forgot that these were supposed to be supersetted, but that's fine because we're not in a time crunch. So we didn't actually need to superset them, but I still want to show you guys the next exercise. So these are going to be single leg glute bridges. And what we're going to do is super simple here. Grab your bench, okay? And you can use a weight here, or you can make it harder and only use one leg. I'm just going to use one leg, but we're going to do single leg glute bridges, work on our glutes, hamstrings. Make sure you're not using your low back here. Try to scoop your glutes underneath you and yeah, work them and fire them away. I'm gonna do 10 on each side. Those felt good. Good grief. Try to keep this leg straight too. Yeah, I'll see that another time too. For me personally, I know my glutes were super weak. Not weak, but I had problems like actually activating them during my lifts and my squats. Right, like they call it sleepy glutes sometimes, where, because you're sitting all day, right, sitting, typing away, these glute muscles are not being worked. You're just sitting, slouching, and then whenever you go up to use them, typically you'll see like that anterior pelvic tilt, right? But that's just my 2 cents on it. So we're gonna do 2 more sets of these. Like I said, you can superset these with the Zercher squats, but if you're not pressed for time, obviously just do them after. So I'll check back in with you guys after I do these 2 more sets. And that is the Bulgarian split squat, okay? It's gonna work a lot on your stability, and it's going to be unilateral. So that means we are going to be working both different legs at different times. I'm using a plate for the weight, but obviously you can use some dumbbells. You know, I don't have dumbbells high enough, but we are going to use a 45-pound plate. Might add in some more load as these go on. We're good to go. Same thing, other side. Whew. All right, to superset our Bulgarians, we're going to do a single leg split stance RDL as well. Okay, you don't want your back to round or arch. You want to keep a neutral spine, brace your core, and also engage your lats here, all right, to hold the bar. And then you're just gonna push your butt back and drive through your hips. You can also use dumbbells here. I'm gonna use a barbell, obviously, but that's how it's gonna look. If you need a racket too, that's fine. Just take a few deep breaths. And go again.
Whew. For me, the limiting factor here is not going to be my hamstrings. It's going to be my low back because it's injured. But that's fine, right? If we just gradually increase the weight over time, right? Focus on what you can do. So, that being said, we have 2 more sets left of each. Whew. That's gonna be a doozy, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this is where it gets fun, where you can challenge yourself to see how far you can really go and to see how hard you can really push. So, these types of challenges are good for the mind and the body. Whew. Gotta stay light. Stay light on your feet. All right, here we go. Second set. Starting to get a good sweat going too. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I like those. The Zerchers, the Zercher Bulgarians. Yeah, those will do it. One last set, and then we'll move on to our C group. Keep on moving. Gotta keep moving. All right, but yeah, I'll see dudes in the office all day. I'll be like, yeah, you know, I tweaked my back and then I had to stop lifting, and then they'll just list off these excuses, right? Don't be an excuse maker. There's always another route that you can take. Always something else you can do. Also too, I typically lift before I go into work, and it's easily, I would say, a huge factor in my productivity and my effectiveness at work. If I'm up early and I'm going to the gym, doing the weights, doing the cardio, and then going to work, you'll be miles ahead of everyone else that walks in there. I promise. Like, you will walk in there, you will feel energized, your mood will be 100 times better, endorphins will be dripping through your entire system. I'm telling you, if you want to leg up, that's what you need to do, all right? If you want to get promoted faster, get jacked and hit the gym before work. Those 2 things. So, enough talking, let's get into it. Last one. Woo. That was tough. All right, just got done with that block. 1 more to go. Might have to go tarps off here in a bit. But we got some Cossack squats, which I'll show you. And then we have some isometrics. Very underrated form and way of exercising and building tendon strength and training those weak positions in a safe manner, right? Isometrics are very safe because you're not moving, there's no dynamic movement, you're just in place, right? Isometric, and helps build strength and endurance. So let's get into that. I'll show you how I'm gonna set this up. Ooh, those ones were cheeky. Oh, yeah. Those ones will make you feel great after though. Those will really open up your hips. You can see the theme of this workout is a lot of strengthening through applying load through extended ranges of motion, full ranges of motion. And that's what I think modern physical therapy is neglecting, is that there's just not enough stimulus to provide an adaptation to where you'll actually permanently have smooth hips, right? You know, every time that you stretch, it's like you're just yanking on it, and then 5 minutes later, you'll go back to being tight. But if you actually train in those deep ranges and lengthened positions, you build strength and resilience there, which I think is important. So without any more yapping, we're gonna go into our HEG. Oh, dang, bro. See, that's why you gotta do Zerchers, bro. Get that arm pump midway through a leg day. That's what you need. Okay, so for the HEG split squat hold, all we're going to do is get ourselves a bench. Okay, get yourself a bench, and then it's all dependent on how deep of a range of motion you can go, right? If you're starting here, that's fine. If you can do it on the ground, that's also fine. But I'm gonna start up here, okay? And what we're trying to go for here is our hamstring to touch our calf, right? Hamstring, touch our calf, and to have this back leg completely straight. Obviously, I'm not gonna be perfect. No one's gonna be perfect on this. But that's the goal to aspire towards and achieve. And then you can also add weight to this as well. This is gonna be one of those exercises where you're gonna feel the shake, right? Get the case of the shakes here, because your endurance probably in this lengthened position is low. So I wanna add 20s on each side to start out. 45 seconds each side. We're just gonna start with the right leg first, here, and then we're just gonna hold it. All right, that was one side, and then we have one other side left to do. By now, you should be feeling great. Your legs should be feeling absolutely buttery, and you should feel like a superhero. By now, you should be able to bow, 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 boom, boom. Okay, I got you. Woo! Gonna do 2 more sets of this. Each of these are gonna be supersetted. And then, what do you say? I say we finish with like some shoulders and arms, maybe some core too. Cheeky little shoulders and arms on a leg day. I'm not opposed at all. Let's do that. All right, that does it for our Jack's Mobility Leg Day. Full workout in the description. I'll leave it there for you guys. But yeah, making sure that your legs are mobile, that we're building strength in those deep and long ranges of motion positions is highly important, especially if you're working an office job, desk job, where you're sitting all day and you're not moving a lot, right? You're gonna suffer from sleepy glutes, just low leg strength in general, and that's why it's very important to train these regularly with frequency, okay? Also too, if you build your legs, most people get this wrong. They'll focus on, you know, upper body, shoulders, arms, but I'm being very serious here. I built my physique by focusing on my legs the most, okay? If you build a solid foundation, just like with anything else in life, if you build a solid foundation first, it's way easier to build off of and you can build further and further instead of, you know, having an upper body but then having your legs lagging behind. It's just going to be harder to train in the future. So I recommend, if you're starting out, or even if you're an advanced lifter and you're working on your physique and you want to know where to start and where the highest points of leverage are, it's going to be in your legs. Largest muscles there, most potential for testosterone increase, right? Because a lot of your muscle mass is in those huge leg muscles in your body. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of this, let me know in the comments below and what you want to see more in the future. Peace.